Shit, dude, I don't even know. I guess, am I having fun?
Are you having fun?
Yes, I am having fun. I'm Soby. I'm one of the founders of Xpopulous, a core contributor to XAI. XAI is a layer 3 orbit chain focused on gaming. It's one of the largest gaming chains in crypto today, with hundreds of thousands of wallets connected and millions of transactions a day. Only a month old, really excited about the future of it. For a lot of people, gaming makes sense intuitively, and enabling real economies in games is like a very obvious use case for crypto. What an L3 means is it's a meme, but effectively we have really cheap transactions, very fast. The reason why we chose to make an L3 is we wanted to make sure that we had high throughput, high speed, low execution costs, while maintaining interoperability with Arbitrum. So we're working on some interoperability solutions that allow users to play the games on XAI, but trade and leverage the liquidity of Arbitrum One proper. And we believe that is a pretty adequate solution to solve a lot of the shortcomings with gaming infrastructure today. I think part of it is the DNA of the different contributors in the network. XAI is a decentralized ecosystem with a lot of really passionate people that are contributing to it. We're a bunch of nerdy dudes that love video games, love crypto, and want to figure out where that intersects. We're literally trying to build something that we wish existed. There's this concept of a forever game that I really love the idea of. Like, when you have a game that fully lives on chain, right, that's permissionless, people can just play this game in perpetuity. They can keep iterating and building on top of it. This isn't a new concept. People play Minecraft. People are chasing this nostalgia of RuneScape, right? And having forever games on chain, I think, is exciting. The other thing that I think is exciting is interoperability of assets across a games developer's catalog. So what I mean by that is sometimes games become very successful and they become franchises. But it feels like our experience from the first game never really dictates how the second game goes. And now with having these assets on chain as permanent, artifacts, you can bring them into different games. You can have this shared experience across people. And just fundamentally, I feel like at the end of the day, what matters the most is the IP and how the end user has that relationship with the IP. I think the IP being awesome and then having provable scarcity attached to this IP makes that relationship a lot more meaningful. The mission of Arbitrum DAO is to empower pioneers that are at the edge of innovation, but are also operating with a strong ethos and purpose. Fundamentally, I look at the Arbitrum DAO as this crazy experiment of here, let's give $7 billion to people and see what they can do. And no one cares about anyone's accolades or any of that stuff. It's just what matters is your merit, your intention, and your values. And I find that really refreshing. There's also downsides to that because of lack of centralization and what that means. But today, at GovHack, it's been surreal to meet people that I've been on calls with for months and months and months. And there's people that have traveled here 14 hours all to come contribute to this thing. I don't think they're allocating enough funds. I'm a DAO contributor, so I'm a delegate. Obviously, I'm culpable for this as well, but there's a lot of different stakeholders that you have to get aligned. And I think sometimes people have different risk appetites than others, and that is a thing that I've been learning. As a founder myself, obviously I have a pretty high risk appetite for things, but what I've been realizing is the Arbitrum DAO is actually decentralized, and that's never really been done before. So I understand over the last few months, we have been, I'd say, experimenting, but not experimenting fast enough. I think the velocity needs to increase, but we also need to make time to reflect. Because there's no centralized authority, there is no person responsible for everything. The DAO's money is public money, so no one's really willing to spend it because it's who's going to be responsible for it? But I think today and this week, thanks to GovHack, has been actually a huge milestone with aligning different stakeholders, giving people 3 days to talk and coordinate on what should we do, what do we need to do better. And I just think it's a learning process. I will die on this hill that we're not allocating enough money, because we've allocated, I think, $100 million out of a $7 billion budget. And crypto is a very fast and agile thing. But what I will say is I actually appreciate the tempered approach that we had, because we could easily go the wrong way. And I think now in general, people are starting to realize hey, we've done a few things that haven't moved the needle. Some things have. Let's keep doing what works. And people are getting the courage to take more bets, and I'm excited to see what comes out of that. You know, the DAO creates frameworks for things, but then there's actually no way to amend it. Seems pretty obvious that we should include that, but we are just figuring that out. So I think that's one thing we've learned from going with this kind of rigid approach is like we need to have different levers that we can pull. And then I think the other thing that we've been learning is, in general, how to coordinate amongst each other better, like the communication. Because at the end of the day, the DAO is me, it's a bunch of other people. There is no, it exists and it doesn't exist. It's like in this weird superposition, right? I think there's no replacement for in-person because it's just so much more productive, right? Like, I've been talking to the same people that are here today for literally like a year. And I feel like we've gotten more done in 2 days than we have in 2 quarters. I want to see the Arbitrum DAO do more of this. I think it's the human beings behind these avatars and behind these screen names that are ultimately the people that are making an impact. And having something like GovHack has just been, honestly, it's been the most valuable thing the DAO's done in like a long time.